3 things motivational interviewing is not. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about when we don't use MI and what it is not. Motivational interviewing has been around for almost 40 years, and there are lots of rumors out there and misconceptions about motivational interviewing. So today, I'm going to cover 3 things MI is not. So, MI is not, number 1, a way to get people to do what you want them to do. This is probably the most common misconception that I come across, is that people seem to think that motivational interviewing is manipulative. So let's talk about that a little bit, because the skills and techniques used in motivational interviewing can be manipulative. What motivational interviewing is intended for is to be a collaborative conversation to help people resolve their ambivalence. Now, if we are using motivational interviewing without the spirit of MI, which is the foundational component, there is not a manipulation to it because we are working in the best interest of the client, of the other in conversation. We're not working in our best interest. Now, we think about sales. Sales are for the best interest of the company, the bottom line, selling products. When we're utilizing MI, we are working in the best interest of the client. This is such an essential component to the foundational spirit of motivational interviewing that without the spirit, we cannot be doing MI. People can pick and choose some of the techniques of motivational interviewing, and they can be manipulative, used manipulatively. There was someone who wrote a book, How to Get Someone to Do What You Want Them to Do in 7 minutes or Less. Truly, you can look it up. And they use some of the real foundational common techniques in motivational interviewing in their book. So that is clearly an example of where someone has mined out pieces of MI and used them in a way to get someone to do what you want them to do, which is manipulation. But motivational interviewing is not MI without the spirit, and the spirit of MI is not manipulative. It's in the best interest of the other, compassion. All right, misconception number 1. Misconception number 2 is that we can use MI all the time. Sometimes I hear training participants say, oh yeah, I use MI all the time, or that's just who I am. This is the way I do things. I use MI all the time. And motivational interview is not intended to be used all the time. It's not intended to be used all the time. MI is a way to help someone resolve their ambivalence in a particular direction. And if we think about the ethical piece here and the spirit piece of MI, it is not our job to always be influencing other people's direction of ambivalence. So it is not used in all scenarios. MI was designed for brief interventions. It's a collaborative conversation style that is used to help someone resolve ambivalence about change. I will say, and I do say this to training participants frequently, I strive to embody the spirit of motivational interviewing all the time. All the time. All the time, I am striving to live in relationships with those close to me, my friends and family, my partner, my colleagues, and my clients. I am striving to live into and embody the spirit of MI. And what that means is assuming I am not the expert at them, they are the expert at themselves. It is about bringing that attitude of curiosity and empathy, collaboration, and compassion, acceptance, absolute autonomy and worth of the other person. It is about bringing to mind and living into the belief that I am not the fixer or some sort of deity over others. They are their own people with their own processes, own values, own strengths, own abilities, own reasons for motivation for change that most likely differ from mine, and that their motivations for change and ideas about how to go about change are more important than mine are. So, MI is not used all the time, but we can embody the spirit of motivational interviewing all the time. When we're doing the full elements of MI, which include the spirit, foundationally, kind of like a triangle, the OR skills, which are the open-ended questions, affirmations, reflections, and summaries that are used in a particular ratio, and the tippy top of that triangle is this guidance in a particular direction by identifying and responding to and evoking change talk. That is using MI, and we don't do that all the time in conversation. So I wanted to break that down for folks to help dispel any myths. The third myth to dispel today is that Motivational interviewing is easy. It's easy to learn and easy to do. It is not easy. It is not easy. There are very simple concepts to motivational interviewing. The spirit I've just talked about, those ORS skills are really great client-centered conversation technical skills that we can use. And people pick those up pretty rapidly. When we put all of MI together in a particular way to guide individuals towards change, and we are withholding that writing reflex that we have, which is so strong, especially for some of us, myself included, of desiring to tell people what to do and how to do it. We are withholding that. That is not a part of MI conversation. That is hard to do. It is hard to integrate into practice. And motivational interviewing has been likened to learning a new language or learning a new sport. When you learn a new language or you learn a new sport or hobby, it is not a one and done process. It is a process of continual learning and practice and practice and practice in order to integrate, form new habits, withhold that writing reflex, embody the spirit, utilize the ORS, identify and respond to change talk. That is a process that takes time to practice. So hope that helps today to dispel any myths, 3 things MI is not, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thanks.